The stars had always watched Earth, but never cared. To the older civilizations of the galaxy, humanity was noise, loud, messy, always fighting, always scared. They had barely reached their own moon when the Valand and the Cathar were already building cities on dead stars. So when Earth finally sent out a signal saying, "We are here," the galaxy shrugged and turned away. But deep under the ice of Antarctica, something was happening. No one spoke about it. No news reports, no leaks, just silent trucks, hidden elevators, and scientists who vanished into the snow and never came back. Dr. Luke Bennett was one of them. He wasn't famous, he wasn't rich, just a man from Denver who loved puzzles. And the biggest puzzle was dark matter, the invisible stuff that held the universe together but could not be touched, seen, or used. Everyone said it was impossible to control. Luke said, maybe not. He worked in a lab 2 miles below the surface, surrounded by thick walls of ice and steel. For years, he and his team ran tests, failed, tried again. Then, one cold morning in 2147, the machine hummed to life. A small sphere of dark matter glowed in the chamber, not bright, but deep, like a hole in the air. It didn't move, it didn't burn, it just was. And it stayed. That day, Luke smiled for the first time in years. Over the next decades, the project grew. The United Terran government poured money and secrets into it. They called it Aegis. The goal? Not war, not power, survival. Because everyone knew that one day someone out there would come looking, and Earth would need to be ready. By 2189, 3 ships were built. Not with steel or glass, but with dark matter itself, woven into shape, held by invisible forces. They didn't shine in the sun, they didn't show up on radar, they just waited. The first ship was called the Nightfall. Captain Daniel Fox was chosen to lead it. He was calm, quiet, the kind of man who thought before he spoke. When he walked inside the Nightfall, the lights turned on slowly, like the ship knew him. Lucy Tran, a pilot from California, called it the ghost ship. She said it didn't feel like a machine. It felt like a living thing, watching, listening. Then came the test. Near Jupiter, they aimed at an old asteroid, dead rock, no life, no value. The Nightfall fired. There was no flash, no boom. The rock was just gone. Not broken, not melted, erased. Everyone on board went silent. They had not built a weapon. They had built something much worse. And somewhere, in the dark between stars, the galaxy began to listen.
The Valand ships came without warning. 3 of them, silver and long like blades, floating near Mars. They sent a message. We are on a peaceful mission. We mean no harm. But their sensors were busy. They scanned Earth's cities, its power grids, its hidden bases. When they found the deep heat under Antarctica, they asked to come closer. Earth said no. The Valand did not like that. They sent another message. Open your doors or face consequences. On Earth, people were scared. Some wanted to hide. Some wanted to fight. President Elena Morales sat in a quiet room, watching the stars on a screen. She did not speak for a long time. Then she said, "We are not hiding anymore." That night, the Nightfall left its hiding place behind the moon. It did not shine, it did not call out. It just moved, silent and unseen, until it stood between the Valen fleet and Earth. On the bridge, Captain Daniel Fox sat calm, his hands on the arm of his chair. "This is the Nightfall. You are in our space. Turn back now." The Valen laughed. Their leader's voice came through, loud and proud. "We see no ship. Your threat is fake." Fox looked at Lucy Tran. She gave a small nod. "Target the lead ship," Fox said. The weapon fired. No light, no sound. 1 second, the Valen command ship was there, bright, strong, full of life. The next second, it was not, like it had never existed. No fire, no pieces, just empty space. The other 2 ships froze. One tried to run. It turned and fired its engines, trying to jump to fast space. But the Nightfall sent out a dark wave. Space itself seemed to freeze. The ship's engines died. The last ship sent a signal, not in anger, but in fear. "What are you? What did you do?" Fox answered, "We are Earth, and this is our home. Leave now, and you will live." The 2 ships turned and flew away, slow at first, then faster, vanishing into the dark. Back on Earth, the people watched the live feed. No one cheered, no one spoke. They just stared at the screen, seeing what their world had become. Lucy Tran walked outside and looked up at the sky. "We showed them strength," she said. "Yes," Fox said, "but the real test is what we do next." Far away, on a ring of metal around a distant star, alien leaders saw the same video. Their faces changed. Some looked angry, some looked afraid. One whispered, "We thought they were weak." Another said, "We were wrong." And for the first time, the galaxy held its breath.
The news spread fast, not just across Earth, but through the stars. Every planet, every ship, every mind connected to the galactic net saw the same thing. A Valen warship, gone in a blink. No fight, no warning, just silence. The Council on Xanthar called a meeting. Leaders from hundreds of worlds came, some with 4 eyes, some without mouths, some who floated above the floor. They argued for hours. "Earth has a weapon that erases matter," said the Canthar general. "This is not war, this is madness." "They could erase a planet," said the Silthari scientist. "One move and a world stops existing. Is that power, or is it death itself?" Some wanted to attack, send a fleet, destroy Earth before it grew stronger. Others said no. If Earth could erase a ship, what would happen to a whole fleet? On Earth, President Morales listened to the reports. General Rick Dalton stood beside her, arms crossed. "This is our chance," he said. "We show them our power. Take out a moon. Make them kneel." Morales shook her head. "If we do that, we become the thing we fear." Dr. Luke Bennett sat quietly in the corner. He had not wanted war. He only wanted to solve a puzzle. Now the puzzle had become a storm. "We don't need to destroy," he said. "We just need to be seen." Lucy Tran agreed. "Let them see us, not as monsters, but as people who can protect our home." So they made a plan. The Nightfall would go to Xanthar, not to fight, not to threaten, just to appear. On the day of the council meeting, the sky above the Great Ring darkened, not with clouds, with something else. A shape that bent light, that made the air feel heavy. Then it was there. Floating above the chamber, silent and still, was the nightfall. It did not fire, it did not speak, it simply existed, a shadow in the sky, a reminder of what Earth could do. People below looked up. Some fell to their knees, others froze. Even the council leaders said nothing. They just stared. 6 minutes passed. Then, as suddenly as it came, the ship was gone. That night, the vote was called. Earth would no longer be a watcher. It would be a member of the Galactic Council. Full rights, full voice. But everyone knew the truth. Earth was not respected because it was kind. It was feared because it was strong, and still chose peace. On the way home, Captain Daniel Fox sat alone on the bridge. Lucy Tran joined him. "Do you think they'll leave us alone now?" she asked. Fox looked at the stars. "They won't attack, but they'll never trust us." "Maybe that's enough," she said. And far across space, in every corner of the galaxy, ships stayed still. Worlds held their breath, and for the first time, humanity was not the weak one. They were the line no one dared cross. After the nightfall appeared above Xanthar, peace came, but not the kind built on trust. It was the quiet after thunder, the stillness before a storm. Many in the galaxy respected Earth, but more feared it. And fear, when mixed with greed, can become danger. In the Gris sector, far from the Council's reach, a group of warlords watched the videos again and again. They saw the Valen ship vanish. They saw the Nightfall float above the Council like a ghost. And they saw Earth do nothing after. "They have power," said Kor, the lead warlord, a tall figure with burned skin and cold eyes. "But they do not use it. That means they are weak, or afraid." His fleet grew fast. 800 ships, stolen, old, rebuilt, gathered in the dark. Pirates, fighters, killers. They came for one reason: take Earth's secrets or burn the planet down. They struck at the outer colony on Ceres first, a small base, just a few hundred people. They attacked at night, blasting domes, cutting power, killing fast. But they didn't know Earth was watching. Within minutes, the call went out, not for help, not for mercy. Just one signal: eclipse, active. The nightfall, the midnight, and the eclipse left orbit silently. No alarms, no speeches. They jumped through space and arrived in a triangle around the enemy fleet. The warlords laughed at first. 3 ships against 800? Earth has lost its mind. Then the killing began. The eclipse moved first. It fired its dark beam at the heart of the fleet. 30 ships, gone. Not exploded, not broken, just erased, like they were never there. Panic spread. Ships turned to run. Some fired blindly. Others tried to jump to warp. But the nightfall released a pulse. Space itself froze. Warp drives failed. Engines died. The midnight picked off the rest. One by one, ships blinked out. No warning, no sound, only loss. Kor's command ship lasted longer. He screamed into the void, "You are monsters! You will pay for this!" Captain Daniel Fox heard the words. He looked at Lucy Tran. She said nothing. "We are not monsters," Fox said, "but we will not be broken." He gave the order. Kor's ship vanished. In less than an hour, 763 ships were gone. Only a few escaped, flying into deep space with nothing but fear and stories. Back on Earth, President Morales stood before the people. She did not smile. She did not cheer. "We did not want this," she said, "but we will not let harm come to our home. If you attack us, you do not die. You are erased, and the galaxy will forget you ever existed." That night, every warlord, every pirate, every fleet with dreams of power looked at Earth and looked away. They finally understood. Earth was not weak. Earth was the line.
Years passed. The stars stayed quiet. No fleet came near Earth. No message carried threats. The galaxy had learned the truth. Earth could end anything, anywhere, without sound or warning, but it chose not to. Dr. Luke Bennett left the labs and moved to a small house in the mountains. He fished in a cold river, read old books, and never spoke about the dark matter core. When reporters asked, he just smiled and said, "I was a scientist. Now I'm a man who likes peace." Lucy Tran stayed with the fleet. She trained new pilots, not for war, but for watch. "Our job," she told them, "is not to fight. It is to make sure no one ever has to." Captain Daniel Fox took the Nightfall on quiet missions, escorting diplomats, guarding trade lanes, standing still in the dark like a silent guard. He never fired his weapons again. He didn't need to. On Neptune Station, a meeting was held. Leaders from many worlds came, even the Valens sent a ship. This time they bowed when they entered. President Elena Morales stood at the front. She did not wear armor. She wore a simple suit. She spoke slow and clear. "We are not better than you," she said. "We are not gods. We are just people who built something too powerful to use lightly. We know what we can do. That is why we choose not to." A tall being from the Sothari race stood up. Her voice was soft. "You could have taken over the galaxy. Why didn't you?" Morales looked around the room. "Because if we did, we would lose what makes us human. We would become fear itself." Silence filled the room. Later, as the stars glowed outside, the Silthari envoy looked at Earth on her screen, a blue dot in the dark. "They are not the strongest," she whispered. "They are the ones who stopped when they could have gone on." Back home, children played in green fields. Ships flew in peace. The warships stayed in orbit, quiet and dark. The galaxy watched. It remembered. And for the first time, fear was not born from cruelty. It was born from mercy. Earth did not rule the stars, but no one dared challenge them. And in the end, that was enough.